round of applause for George, Harry and Josh!
And all the
Keep
rest!
it going!
And Jack! And all the other justice is what we want. Thank you.
Right, I'll introduce the next speaker. That's coming to an end, but we're going to have a couple more. This gentleman I've known a bit about for the last year or so. I've done a bit of research. He's a very, very well-known guy around Speaker's Corner and all around London. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Eddieisok!
Behave yourself. Listen, I wasn't meant to be here today, right? Because boy, like, I was tired with this Brian Harvey thing, but big up Brian Harvey anyway. And big up Timothy Scott, because it's because of Timothy I came down. Because when I watched, you know, the skits on YouTube, you know what I'm dealing with, and I'm like, look, you know what? There are infiltrators all over. Trust me, right? And it's almost like I've got radar vision when it comes to these people. I know who they are. In the fullness of time, more will come out. I'll just deal with the wedger and the baloney thing, get them two out the way. You know, when they're dusted, then we deal with the rest, yeah? Tracy, I got your back. Never forget that. Okay, what we're going to talk about, because like I said, I never write anything down. I'll just come out with what, and was it all right? Oh, it was all right, or whatever. But anyway, listen, first thing first before I talk. You see you people in the back? Can you come a bit forward? Because I need some brotherly love here. I need some brotherly love. Can you just come forward? I mean, please, can you just make your way a little bit forward? You know, because I want to, you know, it's a personal thing. You know, because if we're going to save this nation, right, we got to be real. Listen, the problem I see is this. How did we get to where we are right now? Why is it we got 200 people here? If I'm generous, 200? Great Britain is no longer great. I'm being real with you, friend. The United Kingdom is no longer united. And the problem is this. Most people in this country, and even some people here, I have to be real, you're too damn selfish. That's why we're here. That's why the numbers are low. That's why there's no justice. That's why we're living in a lawless land run by devils. That's why. And the Pano is their God. And as far as I'm concerned, at the higher level, Lucifer is their God. The attack is against Judeo-Christian principles which made Great Britain great. That's the problem. Jesus was asked a question. What is the greatest commandment? He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul and might, and love your neighbor as yourself. When we start getting back to the love your neighbor as yourself, then we'll take care of these devils. You've got to realize something. Every time you come to a march, greet each other. And don't just walk past each other. It's going to be a small thing and it's going to grow. Don't you understand? The spirit has to grow. But it's going to be unity and love. I'm tired of seeing certain people pushing for positions, using this situation for their own agenda, and it's true. It's happening. The blood of these children can't be shed in vain. What's going on with you people? Wake up, man. Greet your neighbour in love. Only then they will really listen to you. Not sit down watching Tuba TV or down the pub having a drink, and every now and then it's a little march for Tracy and her boys and all that. It's going to be an everyday thing. It's going to come from the heart, don't you understand? Even if these devils come back tomorrow and we got someone in charge, if we're not getting back to principles, the glue that kept this country together, even the atheists had the respect for that. It was just love. Love for one another. World War II, the Battle of Britain. The king of the day said, have a day of prayer. Are we only going to seek God when our back's against the wall? Well, listen, I have something to tell you. I have something to tell you about God. God is not too happy with Great Britain. You're too proud. You're too boastful. You're too full of yourself. The Americans always telling you how good they are. But the old saying is, the British expect you to know. Boastful. Full of self. Leave self aside for 1 minute. There's got to be a sacrifice made. This was a sacrifice because of self. No way we should have got to this position now. When I was a kid, never in a million years this could have happened. What happened? We got too comfortable. The job, the house, the 2 holidays. That's your God. That's your idol. That's the problem with this country. And that's why we're screwed as I speak. Until you get back to loving your neighbor. Black, white, knock on their door, greet them. Greet them, even though you've never seen before. Do a postcard, send it to them. Let's get some love back into this, my friend. Because I'm telling you, devils can't handle love. They run 1,000,000 miles. You understand? And that's why Jesus said, He is the way. He's the only way. It doesn't mean I'm not expecting you to be a religious freak, but He spoke on love, a sacrificial love. No greater love has no man than this, than a man laid down his life for his friend. Timothy, his ex-army. That's love. And for a man to be telling him that he's a Nazi, my friend, I had to come out of bed to say this. We're going to wake up. Let's keep it real. I'm trying to get to the conscience of the British people. Don't you understand? Right now I know there are people on their knees, on their faces, crying out to God to save this nation. But you know what? If it's all about you, God's already turned His back. And He's going to leave us to these devils. And where is the church in the midst of this? My friend, I know a lot of Christians, and I have to be honest, very lukewarm, very religious, but not having the power to change lives. And I, for one, am trying to work with Christians to get them down here. Some of them were at the last Tommy March coming down from Wales. Bigged up them people every time, right? But you've got to realise something. We are fighting an ideology. You have Islam. God bless the Muslims for the most part, right? Because they're enslaved in that religion and they're scared and they're frightened. But what I'm saying is this: if your religion is love, you will be standing every time. And these devils, which I can clearly prove are Luciferians at the highest order, believe me, Theresa May's she's just a walk-on part of this whole thing. She's just a walk-on part, my friend. You've got to realise something. You're dealing with dark forces at work, right? And the only how you can get this thing together is that you have to almost have like a Martin Luther King march. Or William Wilberforce, big up these people. Or Mortimer and Ridley that were burnt at the stake in love. It's a sacrifice. But if you're trusting in your money and your wealth and your good looks and your clothes, we're already doomed. This is where it's about, my friend. That's the real message. Because I sit back in the background and I just watch. And I just watch. And I just watch. Yeah? The devils know if we get together, right? And you really have love for your neighbor, black, white, Muslim, etc., right? Believe me, there's going to be a reaction. And then you're going to see Muslims coming out. And then you're going to see the Sikh community coming out. Right? That's how it used to be. And that's where we need to get it back again. We need to reconcile. We need to make friendly again. Don't you understand? I'm trying to get through to my own black people. Don't you understand? You have to hear the message. It ain't all about, yeah. I'm not come for that. I've come to touch your conscience. Seek your own heart first. Make sure you're right. Don't look at me. Make sure your heart is right in this fight. Because I'm telling you not, if it isn't, your children are already damned. And God ain't going to step in to do squats. Because you're doing your own thing. Let's get back to basics. Where I can leave my front door open and it's all right. Can we get back to that? Wouldn't you like to see them days? Hey? When it's going to be a sacrifice, you're going to have to look at self. You're going to have to dig deep. You're going to have to ask questions about what you're really here for. Are you just passing through for the day? There should be thousands. But let's be honest. Our country sucks. It's the truth. Like I said, I haven't come for applause. I can see it. I see it as I get on the bus. I see it as I walk down the street. People can't even look you in the eye. That's how insecure this country's become. Because we've sold into a lie by these devils. You sold into the lie by the devils. I'm all right, Jack. Never mind them. They're all far right. You fell into the lie. Well, I'm telling you now, friend, I speak nothing but the truth from how I see it. I haven't come here to make friends. I've just come to give a message to the British people. Let's get back to basics. Yeah? Let's get back to basics. Let's start feeding off each other. Let's start greeting each other. Let's start hugging each other. Don't you see that? Look, even the Muslim community, they greet each other with a kiss and they greet. We ain't got that no more. We're gone. We're selfish. I'm being real. I'm not here to play games. I'm tired. I wasn't even meant to be. I come out of my bed and I'm pissed off about it already, but I had to come. Listen, friends. It doesn't matter what you gain in this life. You're all gonna pass away one point in time, and only God knows your heart. Yeah? And the God I'm talking about is not a weak God on a cross. It says he's risen and he's coming again to execute judgment on all. I'm being real. You're not gonna hear this from the Archbishop of Canterbury. You're not gonna hear this from the Pope. But I tell you what, that's the glue that kept this nation together with a moral code. And it's Judo-Christianity, and that's what these devils want to destroy. Even if you're an atheist, to them, you're still a Christian because you have Judo-Christian principles. You understand? That's why there's an attack by Islam and there's an attack by the Luciferians. That's what it's about. Well, anyway, Josh, Harry, and George, they've gone into eternity, my friend. Believe me. They're not there in the flesh, but they're alive in the spirit. Believe me. You're going to realise that. You're going to realise that, my friend. Yeah? And we, as a people, have an opportunity to turn this around. But what I'm saying is, you've got to stay focused on what you're actually dealing with. Right? Sometimes certain people, I can understand Tracy being upset she's lost her child, and Nicola and Ian. But what I'm saying is, to the majority of people that are sitting indoors, and they're frightened or they're scared, you know, or they're calling me far right, etc. You got to realise something. Sometimes your silence makes you just as guilty as the rest. Anyway, I'm going to keep it short. Listen, I love you guys. I love you guys. Trust me, I love you guys, yeah? Never forget that. Eddie's okay. I love you guys every time. Big up, big up, big up every time, yeah? Big up these kids. Big up the 21. Ambrose, big you up. Tracy and the firm, keep on the fight. But listen, friend, make sure your heart is right. Take time for the person next to you. Greet them. You hear me? When you're going, greet the person next to you. Shake their hand and mention, call them by name. They're like, my name, blah, 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 blah. That's how it's going to start. We've got to get back to these principles. Even throughout this speech, people are halfway down the bloody road. You've got to come close. Don't be, come on, we're meant to be as one. Just keeping it real, guys, yeah? I love you guys, yeah? Never forget that. God bless you. Amen.
All right, big round of applause for